Hey there, everybody. Reed here, sitting in my freezing cold greenhouse. Uh, Not going to work today. Let's see if I can. Yeah, look at that out there, huh? Wintertime. It's finally come. What a joyful time of year. I do a terrible hand movement there. Anyway, with that, I still wanted to come and say hi to everybody today. Instead of working for money, I'm working on my other personal business. You might say, what does that, Reed? That's a, it's funny because that's a question rather than like a definitive answer at this point in time. But a couple things I can say to that is, obviously music is a big portion of that. Um, and my paintings now being up at the local credit union, that aspect of my artistic life is present. And, something I haven't asked you all to do is sign up for my email list. And that's because I don't have one. But every business person I know has been telling me I need that. And so I've been working on organizing that because I don't think there's any sense in asking you to sign up for something that doesn't exist. So part of that was like, you got to write out your origin story. And I was like, oh, okay, let's start there because the whole welcoming sequence, I'm like, I don't know what I'm even welcoming you to. Um, and so in writing up my origin story, I did it in 3 parts, and the first part is related to music. The second part is related to gardening and my earth connection, and the third part is these side quests. And with the 3 of them, I was like, I actually think this gives like a pretty roundish idea of me. And I say roundish, it's clearly this 2D thing, and the notion that not only do I consider myself, obviously like this 3D character in the world, um, but I feel like we're much more multidimensional than that. And in asking AI to like, hey, take all 3 of these parts and tell me what the similarities are and what the overlaps are. Uh, this piece around not just transitions in life, but also in like the artistic lens, but the interconnectedness, whether that be through, playing music with others or relating to, the best day ever that I previously did in my gardening space and the knowledge of, the microbiomes that I speak to on a semi-regular basis, along with the interconnection of all the other creatures that we share this world with. But the people part, some of you may know that for a good long while I was interested in the intentional communities movement and was checking out a bunch of different ones all around North America. And I still live in community, so it's obviously an important piece of my life. And how do we as people live together? And realizing that there are definitely groups of people out there who are trying to, you know, create story wherein those kind of animistic, interconnected aspects come more to life and are more thoroughly present. Um, Along with this thing of like, what do we call it? Like spiritual psychology. Um, Another term is like eco psychology or ecological psychology. All those things like definitely interplay. Um, and how I view different things. And so as I'm like trying to write all this stuff out and figure out like, who is my audience? Who are you? The viewers here. And recognizing, because my sense of exploration and freedom of expression, I don't think are really captured all that well in these videos personally. They're really more focused with my earth connection piece. Um, the curiosity of like, where is the overlap for all these different parts of myself, and how do those get put out there, and how do I find that audience that has all these overlapping pieces? And then, that beautiful thing of, what am I offering? Is there a problem that you have that I'm solving? Question mark. Um, and is that like a, small thing, like the mug that you drink your tea or coffee out of, or a larger life thing like, how do you find your purpose, or how do you deal with stress and challenge, or, I mean, the list both goes on, and I'm kind of contemplating all of that at the same time. So that's what I'm working on today. And gosh, it is, like I just showed you, it's pretty snowy outside. I don't know, there's the mirror behind me. It does actually, if I hold this up a bit, give you some of that snowness. So I'm going to come out here soon and do a workout for my day. And, whoa, I got to fix that. And it's going to be cold. I got a little propane heater in here, but I don't know how much hotter it's going to be. Normally I'm sweating while I'm in here, and I'm curious if that'll be the case. So that'll be an interesting challenge in my day. But I want to say thank you to everyone who's out there. I want to let you know also that I've released a new album. It's funny. I'm already working on my next album project, and I can hardly recall what the current one is called. But there is a link to all my music in the description here, so you can go check that out on Bandcamp. I'll be getting it up on the streaming services soon enough. I'm just not a huge fan of the streaming services, even though I obviously do use them. But I prefer to support artists when I feel capable of that. And, I think we need to figure out how we're reorganizing our life, because to me, the creative act is one of the most brilliant parts about being human. And the notion of taking time to develop your skill with that is so worthwhile. And whether it's just for your own satisfaction and, figuring out how to do those things, or for sharing it with others. And, I feel like when one person shares, it makes it easier for others to share. So that's all part of why I'm doing that, intermixed with, that was my dream as a little kid, was to be a musician and play music for my livelihood. So I'm re-engaging that in my own soft version. And my wife today was telling me how, she's like, I don't think that you make music for money. And I said, no, that's not my reason for making music, but I'm totally open to receiving money for the music I make. And I think what she was getting at was like, a lot of people, when they decide to go into a creative field and they hit on something that like is a winner, they just kind of want to recreate that often. And, that's awesome for those people. Do that. Do the thing that you love doing. But me, I actually really love exploring the artistic process and then sharing that with you. So I don't thoroughly intend any of my things to sound the same. So if you're going through my catalog of music, you can expect unexpected things there. And sometimes I make it, appear more expected, like if it's just a strictly saxophone kind of thing, that might be a little more obvious. And this current one is saxophone and drums, so if you're into that kind of a thing, I actually have been really enjoying it. I think the album's called When Forever Recalls. I think that's what it's called. So anyway, I gotta go. I got more stuff to do. Gotta figure out who the rest of you are out there that are in this audience that I'm cultivating with these spaces. So I want to say thanks again for joining me here. I hope that wasn't too much rambling for you. Thanks for living your life. I'd love to hear what creative endeavors you're up to, if you're getting ready for springtime, because I know I'm super stoked on that while I'm enjoying some hot cocoa in this kind of wintry weather. And have too much fun.